What is going on, guys? Vertivoden here, and today I'm gonna make a quick little video. Well, it's not gonna be quick at all, and basically showing you how to have fun while tanking. So every year ESO puts out a new expansion, yearly content, yada yada yada. There's a slew of new people that come and join in the game, and around between champion point 600 and 1000 they start jumping into a lot of the random dungeons, some of the harder ones, and even veteran ones. But they are fake tanking and fake healing. And I think a big reason for that is that people don't really, I don't think they necessarily want to know how to tank, or don't know how to tank, or think that it's just, it's just sitting there and taking the damage and taunting. And that's half the story, but you can have actually a lot of fun with it, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So my basic setup for my 11 out of 12 characters for tanks is essentially the same. So we're going to go ahead and go through that. So this is my Templar. The inventory is pretty simple because it's all from the Black Drake Villa. So I use the Rush of Agony set on my weapons and jewelry, front and back bar. I use the Cuirass of the Crimson Oath, which is the other set that drops in there. And then I go between the Magna Incarta, which is the monster set from that dungeon, and the Celstrix. Now the Celstrix I like to use a little bit more with the Templar because he's got some actually good buffs and healing already to the party, so I feel like I can be a little bit selfish in this. And what this monster set does is basically, anytime I damage an enemy, basically for like the first time, they can get stunned. Now, let me kind of run through how this all ties together. So, the Rush of Agony, you can use either dual wielding or sword and board. Sword and board is going to be the safer of the two bets, but I'll show you why I dual wield and why I put it on defending versus anything else. Back bar is the sword with Crusher enchantment. The jewelry, I went prismatic, but I don't necessarily suggest that. I actually highly suggest going with just one effect. And let's go ahead and run through the skills. So basically what happens is that once I launch forward and do an AoE attack, after about 1 second basically, I'm going to pull in all of the enemies within 12 meters. This is also going to do an AoE damage. Once that procs, or once that damage ticks, that's going to proc the Celstrix Visage, and you'll see this. And so that's kind of my crowd control. Before update 44, Templars didn't have a intrinsic taunt in their class skills. Now we do. If you still want to get more taunting, you can also just, instead of Crimson Oath, you can go ahead and go with the Cuirass of the Tormentor, which also works really well. But this one, I like the Crimson Oath because it helps with overall damage. And anything you basically do is going to proc this for 15 seconds every 12 seconds. So you can pretty much have this in up 100% of the time. It's an easy way to buff your team's damage and to help them out. Now, let's go over the skills. The first thing we're going to go for is that on my front bar, I have Bloodthirst. And this is basically a spammable self-heal. The reason that I have this is that I do not trust fake healers, as I recently said. And I can't remember a time when I have seen more sorcerers just running the Matriarch as the only heal skill in random dungeons and even in veteran dungeons. So this is on my front bar. I've got my range taunt in case I miss anyone. I've got repentance to not only heal me but keep up all of my magicka and stamina resources. I've got my razor caltrops to what is this called? Major breach. Man, it's so long since I've done the video like this. I can't remember the terms. But the big reason why I have the dual wielding on front is for quick cloak. This not only gives me speed via major evasion for 30 seconds, it also reduces my damage from area of effect attacks by 20%. That is more than double what I could possibly get in the champion point levels, and that's the big reason that I have it. On the back bar here, we've got Stampede. This allows me, again, to rush forward, do that proc taunt, and then pull in everybody or any non-boss, non-elite. I have Living Dark, so anyone who hits me is going to be stunned, and actually I heal for that. Then I've got Turn Evil, which is another stun just to be on the safe side. So basically I throw this out at them, pulls everybody in, I stun them, I lay down my healing and shield if I need to, but then I do the Razor Caltrops, and then I go ahead and taunt anybody who I missed and start healing, right? So that's kind of like just the basic overview. I'm going to try to do this quick. Under Champion, now this is going to be a little bit different. This setup that I currently have is only for normal dungeons. Let me say that again. This setup that I currently have is only for normal dungeons. If you're going to go to Veteran, use Sword and Board and use your points down here. Do not do this. This is just for normal dungeons. So I have Focus Mending. So this is going to increase my healing by 10%. And then I have Deadly Aim and Master at Arms. The reason that I have both of these is this is going to bring up the damage of my spammable heal by 12%. So between these two and the extra additional 10% here, I'm going to heal for 4,500 every time I use that, what is it called? Bloodthirst? Bloodthirst, yeah. So if you're trying to figure out the math here, do it with me real quick. So there's 4 attacks. Each attack does 1723. So 1723 times 4, 37% of that damage you're going to heal for. But then we got to add in the additional 10% that we get over here. And that's going to be about 4,500. The only non-sort of combative one is Ironclad, reducing your damage taken by direct damage attacks by 3% per stage. And some of the DLC dungeon bosses can hit pretty hard even on normal now, and that's why I take that. Over here, I've got Fortified because you never get enough armor. Rejuvenation because I am a whore for regen. You'll see this in a little bit. Slippery because Slippery when wet is always awesome. But also this happens every 21 seconds. So this can happen anywhere from 2 to 4 times in a boss fight where you don't have to break free. It'll do it for you automatically at no cost. That is more than enough. Now, because I'm dual wielding, I'm also going to have Bracing Anchor to increase my block mitigation by 20%. And that's what dual wielding. You'll see it doesn't hurt that bad. It really, really doesn't. Over here, this is all garbage. This is all for like exploration and stuff. None of this stuff really matters except for the speed. So hopefully I went into that enough for you not to get bored. Let's go ahead and jump into a random dungeon. Again, normal. The reason that I started tanking quite a few years ago was because I am a huge theory crafter and I hate waiting in dungeons as a DPS. It can take anywhere from like, I remember one time it was over an hour, but typically between 30 and 40 minutes is normal. And so I started tanking kind of out of the selfish need to want to get those transmute crystals, as many as possible. But then due to the Tank Club and Zyno Gaming, they actually really got me into the fun part of it. So let's go ahead and watch this real quick, right? So I get my shield, I go and do a hit, back up, stun, bang. There you go. Do my taunt. So this isn't a DPS tank, right? I'm not actually doing damage. My spammable is not there to DPS. It's there to literally just heal me, right? And like even right now, I think we got somebody lagging behind. Do this again. Boop. Get him over. Stun. Out. Quick cloak. Start doing my, yep. There we go. And Bob's your uncle. See, it's fun. I could scream into the game, I would scream right now that to this guy, if you pull, you tank. Now, these guys are not even champion point level, but they don't seem like they're new. I'm making a judgment call there. You pull, you tank. Do not get mad at the tank if you run in and they don't pull everything together, especially without this build. Now, with this said, don't get me wrong, I have made DPS tanks in the past, and it is doable, more so now than it ever was, but you will piss a lot of people off if you're trying to do that in veteran dungeons. I'm just letting you know. Yeah. Notice that I haven't even used a spell pot yet, and you'll notice that my spell pots are the actual damage ones, so they're the kind of expensive ones to make the essence of weapon power, and I simply have that as kind of like almost like a backup more than anything. There is literally nothing that I need from this dungeon. That is just like going after a chest is just instinct. I can't not resist it anymore. Just like this. Like, oh, heavy sack. I have to pick them up. If I don't know if I'll be able to go to sleep tonight. Yeah, they're definitely not new because I'm taking the shortcuts everybody takes. I love it. I usually don't go up this side. Can we? Oh, yeah. Well, that is pretty easy. Alright, let's do it. So again, on bosses, you can't pull or stun elites or bosses in this game. Just for anyone that doesn't know. Oh, yeah. Poor guy's trying to get in, Hold on, let me help him out.
By the ebony blade, this is it. We found the shrine.
So I'm just helping this guy out here finish. He's probably doing some endeavors or something. Or maybe this is the first time he's actually going through this. Oh, and what did I say? Look what our healer is. It's a Sork. Again, there's nothing wrong with being a Sork and being a Sork healer. But we all know that's not really what you're doing. This B is such a C up here. I took a year and a half off from the game. I thought I read something about Light attack weaving no longer working. I'm not sure if it is or not. I'm just do it completely out of habit now. I can't not do it. So if you guys know what that is, don't, yeah, you can let me know in the comments. But that's basically it. Now, granted, this is like, you know, I think this is the very, like the first of 3 dungeons that you ever get. Oh, and I didn't even have any food on. I forgot about that. I don't think I have any food, and I don't think that I have the... I was going to try and make this really simple. So there are certain classes that you want to get your Mundus Stone, get your recovery, and get your potions all aligned on either stamina or magicka. And there's a way to kind of, I don't know, split the difference, but I'm not usually a fan of that. So I was going to show you what I didn't before. Well, let me go ahead and get my greatest currency of all in this game. Transmute crystals. So yeah, so I have the Atronach. I didn't even have, yeah, like my magicka recovery is higher than my stamina. My stamina was only 1351, and I had no problem, man. I don't even know if it went under 50% that entire run. My armor, my resistances are only at 25,000. That's it. I think that's only going to bring me up to 30. Oh, 31. That's close enough, I guess. But I would want to go Serpent. That's going to bring our recovery up. Yep, just about 2,000. So I like to be just over 2,000 on my main stat. And that's where then, you know, basically I could do Crown Refreshing Drink. I could do, you know, the Dubious Camera. I mean, you could even do Lava Foot Soup and Saltreese. I mean, again, for normal dungeons, it's not that big of a deal. So again, I would not worry about it. So that's the basic setup for having fun as a tank. And I'm going to go in here and do a couple others. I just wanted to take the moment with a captive audience and show you my amazing house that took me about a year to fully kit out. And I am pretty damn proud of it, but that's not why you're here. So let's go ahead and log out. Let's choose a different class. I think we'll go with I only have one Dragon Knight. Nope. So this is my Arcanist. I'm still getting used to this guy, so I'm not going to play him because I'm still getting used to the rotation. We'll go with the Dragon Knight. It's funny, they're like the first tank class of ESO, and yet I feel, even to this day, they are still the most neglected out of any of the classes. I would have said Templar, but Templar got some amazing changes in Update 44. So, let's see. Him, I might actually be using, so we got Dual Wield, Rush of Agony. Am I using, oh no, I am using Curious of the Crimson Oath. So, oh, that's right, because I completely forgot. They actually did change Unrelenting Grip to be a taunt now. It was not before, and now it is. So that is our ranged taunt. Let me just take a look at this, because I was playing around and messing with some things, but yeah, pretty much the same setup. I don't have a spammable for this guy. I just use Burning Embers. For the heal, 20 over 24 seconds. That? Yeah. No. If I'm doing my math right, the Bloodthirst will still be better. Let me check my stats real quick, just to make sure I'm not doing something weird. No, yeah. So health recovery is like nothing, so I don't have any food on, but like Everything's into health. Stamina recovery 2142. Oh, I'm using ice cream. I must have hit that by accident. And we have the serpent. I'm gonna grab my little dailies here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go back up. Let me just double check my stuff. So for him, okay, so I am using the Magna Encarta for him just to give a little bit better boost. Again, just to kind of show you guys like how that's not ridiculous. Set items. So let me show you how easy this is to get these set up. Black Drake Villa. No, that's not it. It's not Black Drake Villa. I'm sorry, that's my bad. I said that in the beginning. Dread Cellar. Shit, sorry about that. Dread Cellar is what you get the Magna Encarta. And I haven't done enough to get the full heavy set yet, but I will. But here's Crimson Oath, right? Almost entirely. Rush of Agony, almost entirely. And that's all you need. And the reason that I'm using maces is because I don't think I have... Oh no, I did get the one-handed sword. Huh, interesting. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Again, non-DPS, but you can get... If you just grind this dungeon out, you can easily be like one of the best tanks with just this set. These three right here. One and done. Alright, let's go to get another one. Look at that ready check too. That's another thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like that is pretty nice. I usually, the longest I think I've waited all month is maybe like 3 minutes to get in a dungeon, and that was at like on a Sunday morning at 5:30. Crap, what dungeon is this? Doesn't look familiar. Red Petal Bastion. Alright, I think I know. I'm gonna go with Bewitched Sugar Skulls on this guy.
Told you bargaining wouldn't work. It was a courtesy. They must face Azura's wrath now.
This is Mr. Healer. Don't get impatient with me. Ooh, we have a Warden Healer. He's probably a legit healer. That's the only class that I'll play as a healer is Warden. They're so, like, it's not even funny how good they are. These? Are they? Yeah, no. Get in here, buddy. See? Fun. Boop. I'm not gonna lie, I have absolutely no idea what I am doing in this jerkface McCracken. Miss someone? Yep. Are we missing someone? No, there. Yeah, here he comes. All right, we got 4. Am I going the wrong way? No. God, that annoys me when there's like, I know, you know, ZeniMax are like, oh, we're gonna be sneaky and we're gonna put these. It's just annoying. It's not fun, especially after like the 100th time you've done a dungeon. Ooh.
Greater resistance. It seems the Silver Rose are short on more than science.
I like this guy already.
Sanity seems.
Yeah, so even dual wielding there, you can see that I didn't take any damage whatsoever. Oh, and I didn't, you know what I didn't do? I did not check my champion points.
I'd say it's coming down like cats and dogs, but it's not. In oblivion have we got here?
If you are playing on PC like I am, getting Untaunted, the add-on, is absolutely necessary. It's so helpful. Again, no idea what the mechanics are supposed to be, but I can just stand in there. Again, on normal, I can just stand in there, not really do anything. Whoop. Where is my party? There we go. What are you guys doing? Oh, you're looking for books and stuff. Alright, I'll do that too. I think there's anything... Oh, I can't really say. I have no idea what this dungeon is or what's in it. Ooh. That looks interesting. Oh, that's probably something for veteran. Alright, dodos, come on. Let's get back to the goal here. Where are we going? Where are we going? Now the reason that I also move is that not everyone is going to be in that 12 meters. So typically when I get into a group and I'm getting ready to pull them, I pull back a little bit just because sometimes when you fly by someone, they'll start to run after your teammates automatically. The AI just goes all AWOL.
The priest and I will search right. You check the room to the left.
So I'm going to give this guy a little tap. Back up. Very nice. Oh, jerk face. Boop. See? Fun. Oh, crap.
Does the heathen priest believe he can stand in the way of our divine purpose?
Apparently.
The powers of oblivion aren't to be worshipped. They are to be commanded.
2 shares of the spoils for me.
I got this. There won't be much left after I stomp them into awaken fear.
Where are you going? Get back here.
Side of your teeth. A little help out here.
How much more power must we lend you?
I don't think I'm supposed to be standing in that, but who knows? Ooh, more. Am I supposed to be grabbing somebody else here? Yeah, I'm starting to lose track of everything. No, you won't. Yay!
I was mistaken to share this power, to dilute it. Soon I will wield it all.
What's keeping you? We already dispelled part of the ward. There. The ward should be no more. Let's return.
Alright, let's see if we can get this done. I remember way back when I was still on console playing this, people complained about the DLC dungeons being too short. Ah! Oh, another one bites the dust. And I remember when Layer of Marsalak, or however you say that, Marzipan, came out. That thing, it's just, the dungeons, I still believe, are like becoming unbelievably convoluted and long. That right there is really fucking cool, though. Look at that. That is awesome. I want that as a house. And I know what they talked about previously is making some of the DLC dungeons like mini trials, basically, with their mechanics and whatnot. But I think a problem with that, I think it's a problem, is that they become so convoluted where people have to really learn these mechanics, and people who are new end up, you know, wiping the whole team. That gets really annoying if you're just trying to do a dungeon. And some of the new ones, they have like a what's the word I want to look for, just like a one-hit kill mechanic. And I know some of the other ones, I'm trying to think of the one with the spider, not the spider lady, I think it is. I can't remember the names of these things anymore. I'm too old. But there's one, it's like this crazy spider. You go through this tunnel and there's the darkness. It's like the cheap Crota raid ripoff from Destiny. I think you'll know what I'm talking about when you've been there before. I don't know, I feel like there's a balance that needs to be struck, and they're just going, I think they're leaning too heavily into the... Sorry. I don't think I have slippery on. You want to rim my what? Nope, I don't have slippery on. Why don't I have slippery on? What am I doing? Bracing anchor, rejuvenation. Oh, sustained by suffering. Get that out of here. Garbage. Why did I have sustained by suffering on? Oh, because I remember now. I had to use the Curse of the Twice-Born Star because it was in a vet trial. Not a vet dungeon. And we had a fake healer. And I basically had to not only tank, but provide not only my healing, but healing to the group as well. And so if you're ever wondering why anyone would use the armor of the Twice-Born Star, that's pretty much why. Because you get to have 2 Mundus Stones on, so you can double up your regen. But then, I mean, It's probably one of the most selfish tank sets, or any sets that you can use.
It's gathering.
Oh, crap. Alright, is this it? There's gonna... Oh, yep.
I have conquered countless of the prince's chosen.
Blah, 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 blah. Take longer.
That looks like a unit. I'll support you from the
What the? Oh, I feel like there's... Oh! Oh, buddy! You got punked! Alright. Oh, let's see. Oh, there's that guy. Oh, I got targeted. Damn it. You are annoying. Alright, that wasn't too terrible. Drama! Alright. Oh, was that not the last boss?
It's nothing.
Oh, no, it was. Woo!
These wilted petals to you. There.
Alright, what are we doing? We're at about 37 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get one more in here. Let's see if we can get a different class. But first, let me reap my spoils. Alright. One of my favorites with this setup is actually the Necromancer. I probably should have live streamed this so I could get a poll, but you know what? The Necro is easy to tank with for anything. Let me show you how well you can tank with the Wizard. But actually, oh crap, he might be a full DPS Wizard. It's possible. So let's do this. We got this creeper right here. This is my Joker Necro, and then we've got this guy. I haven't used this guy in a while. I really like him. I feel like I'm neglecting him. Go ahead and play him. And I think, yeah, he's got the sword on there, so I think he's going to be sword and board, but I think it's the same setup. I want to say he's using the Magnum Carta instead of the Celstrix, but we'll find out here.
As you may have encountered, all throughout Valenwood live the Spinners.
The Spinners.
Days of Ephraim are most important.
How would this one know a spinner apart from other Bosmen? Not to sound rude, but
Not to sound rude.
telling elves.
Racist. Sorry, I'm not actually sure if I have this mount fully leveled. Oh, not even close. Alright, so let's take a look at my little guy here. So we've got, yep, Sword and Board for Rush of Agony. That, yep, Magnum Carta. to help out everyone else with a little bit of damage and a little bit of resistance, and Crimson Oath. And good, I don't have a trifecta one. Alright, let's get it going. Whew! Almost made it 5 seconds. I was getting impatient. Nice. You know, it's funny. I used to hate, before the DLC started kind of making this, you know, yearly turnout and getting at least 2 new dungeons a year. I remember, like, on consoles, like, God, I just feel like I'm doing the same things over and over and over again. And ironically, now, I really enjoy it. I mean, part of it probably has to do with, like, the mindset of it, and definitely because I took a, almost 2 years off of playing the game also really helps. I did not go over the skills. It's basically, it's kind of like the same thing. So regardless of the class that I'm using, the setup is almost identical. The only changes really have to do with the class skills that I'm using. But there's a heal, there's a stun, there's a taunt, there's the... This one's got major and minor breach. Yeah.
You won't get our treasure.
Oh, I'll get it, Sally. Don't you worry. So this is a setup for veteran as well. So that is why I don't have a spammable for him. Sword and board with this setup, you can do, as far as I know, I haven't done any of the brand new dungeons on veteran, but I've done all the older ones on this.
You got past my men. Dariah put you up to this? Still out there.
Oh! Oh, how embarrassing for you. I pulled you right off your little throne there, buddy. So under the skills, instead of, there's this mortal coil, I could probably use silver leash instead to kind of help a little bit more with the crowd control. Not necessary, just one of those, you know. You could also put in a spammable if you wanted to switch to dual wield.
And smash this rabble to pieces.
So this would be an example. I just realized that I'm doing this. This is one of the classes that I kind of have mixed almost evenly between Magicka and Stamina. And Necromancers are... I'd say Necros and Nightblades are kind of the best at that. And let me just check out my... Yeah, so my Magicka and Stamina recovery, as you can see there, is almost identical. And I think I have a little bit less... Yeah, so I have more into Stamina and less into there, but I keep going back and out of this. 26,000 is my base. What is it? You want to try to shoot for 28 because I believe 33,000 is the max resistances you can get from armor. And again, I could be completely wrong on that because I really haven't been making videos on this since I've been back playing it. So I could be completely talking out of my ass right now. I have, man, when I stopped playing this, it was a few years ago. Oh, man, I guess it was only a year and a half. Feels like longer. I remember I was just obsessing over every patch note and every data mine leak, trying to min-max my DPS in trials and then going a DPS tank in normal content. It was really bad. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I just kind of knew I needed to take a break, because I felt like it was an obligation almost, like a part-time job in these trial groups. Run like 5-6 trials a week, sometimes 2-3 times in a row. Just gets to you. It's just like, I don't know. Something about the like inherent competition against yourself and obsessing over the math that other people, you know, who do this for a job, they just do it all day. I don't know what that is. Because as my wife can attest, if there is one thing that I am, it's not OCD. I'm not OCD, right?
Oh no, not at all.
Thank you for not dripping that in sarcasm.
I'm not either.
No, no, you are not OCD. Miss, I have to go to jiu-jitsu 5-6 times a week.
5.
5. Only 5. Can I go through this? Oh, yeah! I wasn't sure if that would kind of negate the damage if I flew through there with a skill, but apparently it does. Oof, we are, oh, I was like, we are not doing damage right. Both of our DPSs are sub-level 40, so that's why. I don't blame them in any way. That was another thing I used to do too that I'm not really proud of. If I would like dungeon hop, and if I hopped into a dungeon like this a couple years ago where I'm like, we're not going to speed run through this and I'm going to have to help with DPS, I would just leave. That's such a dick. Oh, and the good thing is, too, I think one of the best things, and I don't know if this, I think this is true. I thought I read this on a patch note, like confirmation of this. If you are the only one taunting, you cannot over taunt now. That's not a thing. That only happens, I think, if somebody else, you know, is taking the taunt with you. And that was one of the reasons I didn't really tank in trials. Because very few of the groups that are in wanted to do the trials on normal. Like, it's all vet, right? And so you just have to be, your timing of your skills and taunts has to be just absolutely pristine. And if anyone was to come on here and say that taunting or tanking in vet trials is boring as hell, I would agree with that. It very much is. Uh-oh, we got a lagger. See if I can pull these guys in a little bit. Can I stop him from... I don't know if I can. Alright, all three are taunted. What's going on here? Woo! That went better than I thought it was.
Stop.
Nice.
Let me examine it.
Oh, cough button. So there we go. There is 3 out of my 12 characters. Done. Tanking. Oh. Apparently, I have not been using two-hand for this character. Oh, because I think pre a couple patches, I remember I was using Frost Staff still on the back bar, which I don't think I use for any character anymore because I just love that Stampede. It's such an amazing skill. Real quick on this guy, though, just want to make 2 little points before we wrap this up. Under skills, I do this a lot with anyone that's going to be doing veteran content. I put Reviving Barrier on the front bar. This gives me an extra 10% Magicka regen. It's also an amazing damage shield for everybody, basically. It's so unbelievably good. And then in the back bar, specifically for Necros, is the renewing animation, where it basically revives, 3 allies in a very, very small, I feel, area. I feel like this used to be a lot bigger, but that's what she said, and I could be wrong. So anyway, there we go. And now I am off to do the rest of these, and I will not bore you with that. So hopefully you guys got something out of this, and I'll talk to you soon.